Hello and welcome back to Cell's World. This week I'm kind of doing a follow-up to the why I think you should get into reading video I did. That was I think it was titled 5 Reasons Why You Should Be a Book Girly. Essentially, this video is just going to walk you through how to be a book girly, but right off the hop, or whatever the phrase is, I just want to say that there is no right way to do this. This is just basically a really easy way to get into reading and a really easy how-to if you're not sure where to start. So this isn't rule of law. This is not how you must do it. This is just an easy way to do it. And some of it is how I did it. So that's kind of why I wanted to share it. It's pretty easy, straightforward. So let's get into the how to be a book girly video, blog. You know what I mean. So to start, have you read a book this year? If you have read a book this year, you are officially a book girly. Congratulations, welcome to the club. It's pretty simple. Any format, any book, doesn't matter. If you've read it, counts. You're one of us. It is what it is. Even if you don't want to be, you are here now. However, if you're someone who's I don't know where to start, I haven't read a full book, I haven't done any of that, this is some of the places where you could start. I did mention in the why you should be a book girly video that essentially a really fun component to reading is there are a lot of built-in communities. So whether that's on booktube or in a book club or just any kind of events around books, built-in community. How do you get into those communities? Sometimes I think you'll notice maybe you're in a small town or whatever and there just aren't book club opportunities to be there in real life. For me, I think I got really lucky. It just worked out really well. I got to be a part of a really amazing book club that I wish I could still be a part of. Whereas for most people, that might not be the most realistic option. So I would say get involved in BookTube. Lots of these creators on here honestly have private book club communities. I would love to be able to do that one day. I think that would be so cool to run a book club. But if you are someone who doesn't know where to start with reading, a book club is a really good place to start, or with a community, whether it's a creator you like on YouTube or somewhere else, whatever they're recommending. If you like them, chances are you're probably gonna like what they're reading too. If you actually are really enjoying their content and how they are, you probably have things in common. You probably like a lot of the same things they do. You're probably gonna like the books that they read. So I would say starting with a community is a really good place to start. The reason book clubs are so great is because you're probably gonna get a bunch of different books throughout the year, and it's one per month, and you're gonna get to enjoy that. Or you can join a famous book club. I think there's obviously, I will say I don't really like the books most of the time that they recommend. I find they're a little bit on the duller side for my tastes. But obviously you can join Oprah's book club, Reese's book club, although I think she sold that. Regardless, there are many opportunities for built-in communities where you can go and learn what you like to read, and it's really easy to get involved. If you are a little bit shy and you're not ready to take that step into a real in-person book club, I think BookTube communities are a great place to start. I think people here are so warm and welcoming. I've had nothing but kindness shown my way in this community, so I think it's a really good place to start if you really don't know what book to even pick up and you kind of want to be told what to read. Another fun thing you can do is if you are trying to really get into it, you want to make this a thing and you just kind of want to ensure that you continue with it, I think a really fun thing that you can do is get on Goodreads, Storygraph, or Notion and just set a reading goal, whatever works for you, whatever that might be. If you're on any of those, obviously not Notion, but if you want to be friends on Storygraph or Goodreads, I always have that linked in the description, and I love having friends on there to see what they're reading. It helps me kind of build out what I want to read as far as a TBR, and I also think that these apps can reinforce that community aspect too. And when I say set a goal, I mean I think there's a lot going on. I know comparatively to other creators and other content going around on Bookstagram, Book Talk, BookTube, all these things, my goal of 60 might not be a lot. But what is a lot? Really think about what is a lot to you and just go with what seems to be a good goal. If a good goal for you is like a few books this year, actually just kind of getting into the flow of, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to get into the flow of, anyway, if you're just trying to get into the flow of reading, pick a goal that works for you. Like, yeah, challenge yourself, sure, but like, it doesn't have to be crazy. I think, I will say, I followed someone on Goodreads recently, and it was so funny because it's obviously a joke, but it says their reading goal is like 5,000 books. I thought that was hilarious. All I'm saying though is set a goal that works for you, and this is an easy way to get yourself into reading, and like kind of, if you maybe pick up 1 or 2 books that don't feel right for you, it'll maybe help you keep going to find the books that do work for you. Ultimately, I think the biggest thing overall with how to actually become a book girly is finding the books that you really like and that actually work for you. And I think this is sometimes easier said than done. I won't lie, as far as like my reading journey goes, kind of had it fall in my lap almost what felt like on accident. I am going to share a video kind of about like how I got into reading and how you can kind of copy that too. Essentially, I was seeing like ACOTAR everywhere, had no idea what it was about, but it was hyped up everywhere. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pick it up. I'm going to read it. I'm going to see where it takes me. This was when I first came to Portugal in 2022, fell in love, came home, read Throne of Glass. Now I'm here in Portugal making videos about books. It's kind of a crazy full circle moment, but I will say I found what I liked and I kept exploring. And honestly, I have read lots of other books that aren't my favorite. They're not my favorite genres, and that's okay too. I think that's like easily the biggest thing to take away from this, is that it's meant to be fun, and that's whatever you like reading, however you like reading, whenever, and like whatever format too. I know a lot of people prefer to listen to audiobooks. I think that still counts. And I think it's just whatever you enjoy and however you want to enjoy it. That's what really matters, and that's what makes it really fun. And being a book girly doesn't mean doing things one way. I think it means really owning how you want to do it your way and like being your book girly. I just think what makes it really fun is finding books that you really like. So if you really like a certain genre, or you're not sure what you like, go out and find it. It is so worth it. Like I was saying though, it almost felt like it was an accident for me, but when I look back at it, like this is how I would kind of reverse engineer it. Like, yes, I lucked out, but I would really consider, if I were you, like, what do you like in your day-to-day life? Like, what do you like in other forms of media? For me, I love fantasy, and I also love really cheesy rom-coms. At the time, did I know what romantasy was? No, but I easily could have read like cheesy romantic comedy novels or fantasy novels and probably would have enjoyed them a lot. I just got lucky and picked one up that was basically them combined. But yeah, really think about like what you like in your day-to-day life, what you enjoy consuming already, and see if you can find that in book form. If you like true crime or thriller or suspense, or maybe you like learning from people as far as like memoirs and whatnot. Maybe you like sci-fi. Maybe you do like fantasy. Maybe you might like romantasy, especially if you're like me and you like cheesy rom-coms and you like fantasy things. You know, you like magical love shit. You would probably really enjoy romantasy. Anyway, my point with this is I'm not trying to push you into reading romantasy. There are so many books out there. Oh, another one that I will say I think is maybe popular, but this is not going to be the right name of genre. But if you're someone who likes being cozy and you like doing cozy things, there's a bunch of books that you can find under the category of like coziness. Books that like encompass that entirely. So I think you just have to find your thing, and you could literally, it doesn't have to actually be a genre. You could just type in things like cozy books, happy books, whatever you might want to feel or whatever you enjoy on a day-to-day basis, you can find a book about it. I can almost guarantee that. But like I said, I really want to stress that there's no one right way how to do this or how to be into reading or do reading. What matters is that you're enjoying it and it's fun for you. It's your hobby. It's just supposed to be fun. So I think if you can follow these steps, it'll get you in the door really easily. It makes it super easy to get into reading. Another thing, this obviously isn't free, but if you are doing the whole like, I want to join a book club or whatever, but I'm just not there yet, I think something that is really helpful is like going to the bookstore, going to the thrift store, whatever it might be, secondhand shopping for books. So fun. But I'm telling you, what I wouldn't give to be able to go to a beautiful library where all the books are in English and I can read them and experience that experience. So if you have a library near you, or if you have the Libby app and you can like check books out and it's like free to you, go take advantage of that. That's also really fun, and it's a way to get out and do something fun too. And you might just find your community at the library as well. You never know. They could be hanging out in the same sections you're in. You can find a lot of yourself in books, and you can learn a lot about yourself in books, and that these are pretty easy ways to get into reading. So if you have any questions about them or want to know more, definitely just ask them in the comments. I am definitely here for the community aspect. I think it's so cool that you can connect and talk about books over the internet, especially when I'm over here and I don't really have the opportunity to go to book clubs or libraries. Like I said, this is just a really enjoyable way to create and connect on something that I love. So like I said, if you have any questions or you want a book recommendation, just say what you're into in the comments and I'll try to find you one. I'll talk to you guys next week. I hope you have a beautiful week.